Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, JoJo's World of Swirl. Happy 4th of July. It is the morning of, and say hi. Oh, there goes that Charlie attitude again. We are getting ready to make breakfast. The kids have requested French toast, sausage. Zeke, of course, doesn't want French toast. He wants one pancake, so I'm gonna make him his pancake. And Charlie's gonna want a little egg, so I figured I will bring you guys along. You can see me cook breakfast for them this morning. I'm not sure what we have planned yet today. Probably another cookout, I don't know, sparklers, fireworks later. So come along with us for the ride. So before I start the boys' breakfast, I am going to go ahead and get Charlie's breakfast ready. She gets up a lot earlier than the boys do, normally by at least an hour or two, and she can't wait as long as they can for me to cook the full breakfast. So I'm starting here. I am just going to scramble her up one egg, and that will hold her over to give me a chance to do the sausage and the French toast. Normally with her, I kind of have to feed her in little courses, just enough to give me time to start up the other food. And by the way, don't mind my wrinkly nightgown. I did just put it on, but it's one of those things where you have a full pile of clean clothes and you just haven't got around to folding them yet or even feeling like it. So it is what it is. Oh well. But here we go. I'm melting about a tablespoon of butter and I'm whipping the egg up really good. She likes her egg fluffy, so I'm making sure that I'm getting a lot of air bubbles in there and whipping it around. I like to do that just to make sure that the chunk of the yolk is broke up pretty good. And then I think I went over to get my spatula. Yep, my purple spatula. That is my favorite spatula to cook eggs with. I said it in my last video where I did the breakfast burrito meal prep. I will go ahead and link that below. But I found it at the dollar store. It's like a silicone material, and they have them in spoons and tongs, whisks. It's like their own little line of silicone products. So that's what I've been using. I'm going to go ahead now and move her egg around. I like to wipe it off of the sides too, just to make sure that it doesn't build up, because to me, nothing is worse than having that little like flaky, crusty, dried egg on the sides of the pan and it getting mixed in with the eggs. I hate that. So anyways, Charlie likes her eggs folded. She's kind of picky. I feel like her dad created her to be a little picky eater. I used to scramble the eggs. She doesn't like them anymore because he started giving her these like 5-star folded eggs like you'd get from a restaurant. So here I am trying to make them like he makes them. Add a little salt. I also said in the last video I don't like white table salt. I only like the Himalayan salt, plus they say it is better for you since it's natural. So I'm trying not to scramble her egg. I'm just folding it over and letting the other side cook. And then I will go ahead and season this part of it. I don't season both sides just because I don't want to give her too much. But if there is no seasoning, she will not touch it. So that's my girl. She will go ahead and eat it with a little salt and pepper, and I will just hand it to her. I'll probably cut that into, I would say, 2 or 3 sections, and I'll just hand her a piece of the folded egg. That is how she prefers it. Now I am plating up Charlie's eggs because she is in the background getting very antsy and hungry and impatient. So like I said, it helps me to serve her kind of in courses. So there's the egg. I did the best that I could trying to get it folded and not scrambled. She did end up eating the whole thing, so I guess I did a good job. Time for the French toast, and as you can see by how sad that bread looks, that is exactly why we are doing French toast. Not only that, but it is one of the boys' favorites, and it is something that's quick and easy for me to make. So I started to heat the pan up. I'm just going to let that get warm for a second. I ended up moving the pan over just so you guys could see better what I was doing. And I put a tablespoon of butter on there to go ahead and get that melted. I actually decided to do the sausages next before I do the French toast because once again Charlie was ready for her next course. Her egg was almost gone at this point, and I know she loves sausages, so I'm gonna go ahead and cook those up. By the way, I realized that we were out of smoky sausages. We used those for our breakfast burrito meal prep video, which is linked below once again. And so I am just frying up hot dogs. I know some people might think that's crazy, but when you're in a pinch and you don't have anything else, all of my other breakfast meat was frozen. And the kids literally had no clue. They thought it was the smoky links that I fry up the same way. So it was a win-win on both sides. I took a quick break from the French toast mixture just to check on our sausages to make sure that those weren't going to burn, and they were cooking along perfectly. So I took this time to just put the eggs away. I grabbed the milk out. I put a little splash of that in my mixture. And since I am only making breakfast for the 3 kids today, I just put 2 eggs in there. If it was more of us eating, I would have, of course, included more to make the mixture bigger. But I wasn't that hungry, so I just did this today. I always add some cinnamon in the mixture. And then for the secret ingredient, a splash of vanilla. We are going to go ahead and put that in. That makes it taste a completely different level of flavor than it does if you don't have it. If you've never tried it, just try it. It is so good. You won't regret it. I'm checking I keep saying sausages, but they're actually hot dogs. We're just going to call them sausages since that's what the kids thought that they were. I was checking those. They were not quite done yet, I didn't think, so I let them stay on for a couple more minutes. Now you can catch me in the background. I am setting the table. I'm putting little towels down just because the hot plates do turn our wood white for some reason. And so I'm getting that ready. One thing about me is I sometimes try to do too many different tasks at one time. But really it was because I only have one of these frying pans that the hot dogs were on, and so I couldn't start the French toast until the hot dogs were finished, which is what we were waiting for at this point. And then here comes my little Zeke. He is such a mama's boy, and he thinks it is so cool that we're recording videos now. And he asked if he could make an appearance because he loves to help me out with stuff, and I just love him so much. There's something about that middle child. I don't know what it is, but whenever he wants to help me, I try to let him. Sometimes the time is not good, but this time I made his day. Here he is helping with the French toast mixture. He's trying to get the eggs together, and then in true Zeke fashion, he starts going crazy with the fork, and he'll pick the speed up. And I had to remind him to slow down so we don't splash eggs all over. Alright, so Charlie's piece of sausage is done. You could see the little bit of egg that she had left at that point. So I took her sausage off to get it sliced and cooled down so she could start eating. Part of the reason why I have to do these voiceovers is because it's just so loud and crazy in my house. You guys really wouldn't be able to hear really what I'm saying. So this works better. There go the sausages. Look how good they look. Not burnt, but perfectly charred. So I am going to go ahead and I'm cleaning off that pan. Like I said, it's the only pan that I have. So I just kind of wipe it and clean it between each use. So then I am going to go ahead and bring it back to the stove once I'm finished. And Zeke is patiently waiting for me to come back. You can tell his eyes are cut off, but you can see he's wondering and looking at what he can get into. And there he goes with the bread. When I turn around, he's the type of boy that will touch stuff and start mixing the eggs and see how long he can get away with it before I came back and noticed. And he stopped. So we're turning our skillet on. There we go. We're going to add some more butter, about a tablespoon again. That's normally how much I start out with for everything. If I feel like I need more, I'll obviously add more, but I don't want to load it up with butter right away and then it be too much. So we are going to let that melt down. I'm going to get one little final whisking of our egg mixture. And we are going to go ahead and cook this French toast, because at this point, all of the kids are starting to ask, how much longer? When is it ready? My tummy's rumbling. So I'm going into mama mode and I am trying to hurry up. So we're going to lay these down. You're just going to want to dip it pretty fast. You don't want to leave your bread in the French toast egg mixture because it will get way too soggy. And then even when you put it on the skillet, it still will not taste right. So I'm going to put 4 on there at a time, and all I made today was 4. So while I turned it around again, you can see Zeke there with a piece of bread, which is another reason why I only made 4 today, is because with him touching and rubbing and putting his nose all in the bread, I don't really want to cook that for breakfast. So he just eventually ended up throwing it away. But that kept him entertained, because even though he is 4, he's the type of boy where he will still try to touch that burner even though he knows it's hot and he's seen me just put a pan on it. He will still touch it and then be upset when his hand burns. So he's playing with the butt end of the bread, which is fine. I'm going to throw that away anyways. I'm coming over. I guess I was trying to find my spatula. I recently did like a kitchen organizational cleaning thing and I couldn't find where I put my utensils. Now at this point the bread was not ready to flip yet. I just wanted to check it to make sure it wasn't burning. So I'll turn the heat down a little bit and I let it cook. Now I did put a little more cinnamon on. Some pieces I feel like didn't get a lot, so I like to sprinkle a little more on. You don't have to. That's just up to whatever you prefer. I did tell Zeke that he could have his own pancake this morning, because sometimes he would rather have a pancake than French toast, and it was fine. But we tried to make just one pancake in a bowl, and we didn't measure it out because I didn't want to make a full family portion of the batter and it go to waste. But since the mixture didn't turn out, I ended up just telling him he was going to have French toast today, because we ended up spilling some of the batter on the floor as well, and it was a mess. So we put that away, and I told him a different day I would make some pancakes. And finally, breakfast is served. Roman had 2 pieces of French toast and 2 pieces of sausage. Zeke had 1 piece of French toast and 2 pieces of sausage. And then, of course, Charlie had what she had. So there they are. They're just eating and they're talking about their plans for the day and having a little brotherly moment. There goes Charlie. She is done. She ate half of a piece of French toast, all of her egg, and all of her sausage. So she was a happy girl at this point, and she was ready to get down. I hope you enjoyed this video coming alongside me and my kids cooking breakfast on 4th of July morning. We are going to get ready for the day, and I'm going to clean up the kitchen. We are going to go do some sparklers. I think we might have another cookout to go to. And then, of course, tonight it is going to be firework time. So I hope everyone has a happy 4th of July, and we'll see you next time.